Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. As announced at the end of last episode, I wanted to do some Dragoon job quests. Because they've been sitting for a while. Ser Alberic. Serenia, I'm pleased to see that you are in control of the dragon within. Nonetheless, I must remind you to remain vigilant at all times. It takes but a moment of weakness for the eye to make you its thrall. Now forgive me this abrupt change in subject, but we have urgent need of your lands. Some days ago a horde of dragons began wreaking havoc within Ishgardian territory. An elite regiment of Dragoon has been dispatched to deal with this threat. Alas, though they fight bravely, they are sorely outnumbered and are struggling to gain the upper hand. Indeed, but moments before you arrived, we received a request for reinforcements from a unit engaged in battle north and west of Whitebrim. A fellow Dragoon and I will go to their aid, and we should be grateful for your presence. Pray go on ahead, and we shall follow anon. New music for battle quest accepted and quest finished, by the way, for Heavensward. And where do we have to? Just before the stone vigil, okay. There's the... actual fun. Alright. Your colleagues not so much, right? I owe you my life. That beast would have torn me limb from limb. Our lances were not needed, it would seem. Such is the might of the Azure Dragoon. You have not pledged allegiance to Ishgard, yet you came to our aid nonetheless. For that we are grateful. The death was avenged, our comrades may go to rest in peace. My lady, I shall attend to the fallen. It is an honor to see you again, my friend, though it appears I'm not remembered. I suspect the armor is to blame. Permit me to introduce myself anew. I'm Estienne of the Order of the Knight Dragoon, and I have the pleasure of assisting in your training. I honestly don't remember you. As we approached, Ser Alberic and I bore witness to the final moments of the battle. I could not help but notice that, though you have been instructed in our ways, there's something distinct about the manner in which you fought. I believe I know the reason why. As an adventurer, you've done battle with the foes the realm over. Though through these many encounters, your techniques have evolved to produce a style that sets you apart from we who fight only dragons. Such insights you must possess. If I may speak frankly, I wish to train under you. Will you accept me as your pupil? You see, a fearsome dragon has been terrorizing Corv as of late. Growl is its name, and I've been charged with leading a mission to slay it. Though I'm second in command in the Order, I'm not confident of my chances against the creature, such is its ferocity and cunning. If I'm to triumph over Growly, I must need grow strong, and I believe I can, under your tutelage. What say you? Will you consent to training me? Okay, interesting proposal. As we teach, so do we learn. This I know from experience. I wholeheartedly urge you to accept Estienne as your pupil. You need not give me an answer right this moment. Think on it and let Ser Alberic know your decision. Till next we meet? And return to Ser Alberic. Have you come to a decision? Then will you agree to teach Özgen? I'm grateful. I swear I will not disappoint you. With your guidance I shall put an end to release the reign of terror. Now I should not like nothing more than to begin my training at once, but duty calls. For the time being I shall endeavor to emulate the deadly lance work I saw. Özgen is among our very best in recent generations. If you are to train one of her caliber, you yourself must rise to new heights. Resume your own training and return hither when you are satisfied with your progress. Level 52, yeah. But we are already level 58, so we can immediately continue. Greetings, Serenia. You look very much a teacher today, but as well for Özgen is eager for her first lesson. Now, though you agree to accept her as your pupil, I suspect you are not without reservation. You worry whether you will be equal to the task. Well, worry not. I have every confidence in you. Were to offer you advice, however, it would be to have patience. Though Özgen is a master of her art, it is all she has ever known. As such, it may prove a challenge for her to adapt. Like all of us, she is not without pride, and there will be times when tact is required. I must also mention that Özgen is zealous to her fault. I worry that she will overexert herself in pursuit of strength. But I'm keeping you from your lesson. Özgen left word that she would be in the Western Highlands, testing her lance against the foes there. Seek her out near the pike. So, somewhere here where we haven't been yet. Okay. Then it's time to continue to the gate. Okay, here we are.
And so they came, at a friend's behest. Heroes once celebrated as saviors of Eorzea, brought low through treachery, their names blackened with royal blood.
A statue of a dragoon.
With memories of the lost and dreams of redemption, with hope yet in their hearts, they came. To Ishgard, shining city on the mount, overlooking the dominion of Kurthus. A great and proud nation, devoted to Halone, the Fury, ruled by Thordan VII, Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. The last bastion of the faith, her walls ever bristling with the sworn swords and spears of her 4 high houses. A land that after 1,000 years of war had forgotten what it was to be at peace. Through gates long closed, the warrior of light and her companions passed, entering at last a city whose history was written in blood. In the midst of the Dragon Song War they came, 3 weary travelers whose arrival would set in motion great change. Though none knew then how great.
So the Count's, this was basically read from the Count's memoirs later on. This narrator voice. The Count who invited us here. Greetings, Mr. Shadowstar. On behalf of House Forton, I bid you welcome to Ishgard. My lord humbly requests your presence at his residence in the Pillars. If you all would come with me? Of course. Well, let's go around here and activate the Etherheads. I believe I get that later. Yeah? No, no, not right now. Not right now. Ah, but what else? Is this für Ishgardian gab? For Chocobos? Can't do that yet, okay. Well then. Off to the next area. Been a while since we have explored a town here. Materia melder? Dark spectacle? I mean, there should be the Dark Knight somewhere here. So maybe it's that? That is actually a job I would be interested in, just for the looks. I love the looks of the Dark Knight weapons. The great swords. Let me guess, this is a place where you can only enter during quests. You? After witnessing a spectacle like that, everyday life seems rather dull in comparison. Huh? Oh, so you didn't see the trial earlier? Ah, you're lost. Fury take me the way that heretic swung that slap of irony called the sword was a sight to behold. He couldn't have carried a shield if he wanted to, the blade was so big. Had to keep two hands on it at all times. I was amazed he managed to keep up with a temple knight as long as he did. Fought like a demon from the deepest pits of the seventh hell, but bellowing threats and working his arts. I wasn't sure what to make of it at first, but then I heard someone say he must be a dark knight. But you didn't hear it from me, eh? No. Aye, let's speak no more of such things, never knowing who's listening. No, I don't want to go into the Inquisition. Dark Knight, I will do Dark Knight, but later. First, right now, I want to look around town and advance the main plot slightly. This will be the astrologian. No, not right now. Just looking around. No. First, I go to the Aetheryte when we talk to the quest person. There's the Torchefant. The warrior of light and her brave companions, walking the streets of Ishgard at last. What a glorious sight. I cannot tell how long I've waited for this day. Allow me to present you to my family home, Fortomb Manor. I should like nothing more than to show you around, but everyone is gathered to receive you. Come, my friends, introductions must be made.
My lord, I have returned with the Scions.
I hope your journey was not too taxing.
No?
I, Count Edmond de Fortemps, do bid you welcome.
Thank you, Count.
As wards of House Fortemps, you shall be afforded every courtesy. My home is your home.
My companions and I are deeply honored, Count Fortemps.
The honor is mine, Master Alphino. Consider it an expression of our gratitude for your service to Ishgard.
Forgive me, my lord, but are you not concerned? To accept foreign guests at such a juncture, especially ones with our reputation.
Do not worry yourself on my account. 'Tis true that Ishgard's first thought has ever been the war effort, hence the closing of our borders. Yet it is in troubled times most of all that men should seek allies, don't you think? Granted, my decision will have raised eyebrows in the vault and in the halls of the other high houses. But so long as you continue with your altruistic endeavors, I doubt my honored peers will feel moved to voice their concerns.
Then there is naught to fear. Though our numbers are much reduced, we are no less determined to carry on our work.
Full glad am I to hear it. But before you return to your labors, why not take a tour of the city?
A guided one? Because we already wandered.
You would do well, I think, to acquaint yourselves with your new surroundings. After all, you may be here for some time.
We already wandered. Though our friends of Fort Fortemps have been generous to extend us their protection, we must take care not to impose too much on their hospitality. It's only proper we learn about our new home, so that we might become more self-sufficient. It'll take a while to learn the lay of the land, but learn it we must. Then there's the markets and the taverns. We'll need to know where to shop and where to have small talk. It would seem a tour of the city is indeed in order. I thank you for your counsel, my lord. My companions and I shall of course do as you suggest. Very good. Then my manservant shall accompany you. He will be able to answer any question you might have. But I grow forgetful in my dotage. There's something I must give you, Eribard. The documentation is in order, I trust? Yes, my lord. So I guess these are the documents that we are actually here as guests and not smuggled ourselves in or something like that. These documents identify you as wards of House Fortombe. Given that our borders have remained closed for decades, many of my countrymen are unaccustomed to treating with foreigners. Should anyone happen to question your presence here, it may prove necessary to remind them that you remain under the protection of House Fortombe. Rest assured, we will do our utmost to avoid any situation which might compel us to invoke your name. Serenia, Tataru, the city awaits. Let's go! As this is your first time in our fair city, pray permit me to show you to the Hoplon, from whence we may gaze upon the splendor of the holy vault. Though all sights pale in comparison, 'tis only meet that you see it first. I then shall show you around the jeweled crozier, where you may purchase all manner of goods and services before descending to Foundation's Efferate Plaza. If there are no questions. The Hoplon, so named for the bronze grace shield worn by our nation's patron deity, is the largest plaza in Ishgard. The magnificent cathedral to the north is, of course, the Holy Vault. The vault is both Ishgard's seat of government and residence of the Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Begging your pardon, the statue to the south, are they perchance Forden's famed Knights 12? Very good, Master Avano. They are the fathers of Ishgard, the brave knights who joined with King Forden to put down Nidhogg and found this great nation. Ours is a city rich in history and tradition, and there's much you can learn by exploring the pillars, time permitting, of course. Now then, if you would follow me to the Jeweled Crozier, I shall introduce you to Mistress Ildaith, the Master of the Markets. I talked with you before. Well, you're clearly not locals or traveling peddlers, which makes you all... wards of House Fortombe. How very interesting. Count Edmund granted us leave to remain in Ishgard for as long as we wish, which may be some time. According, we will have need of sundry goods, hence our desire to make your acquaintance. That is, of course, assuming you are content to accept custom of foreigners. Should that be a problem? Young sir, we do not discriminate in matters of money. If you have coin to spend, who are we to refuse it? Weapon, armor, accoutrements, medicine, materials, whatever you desire, it can be found in the Corsair. Our merchants will be more than happy to accommodate you, as you soon see. Our next destination is the Heavensward Plaza, if everyone is ready. Have done so. Shame that it's only for these jobs, otherwise I would totally use the circlet, the mithril circlet here. The feather. Looks beautiful. But I believe the job qualifications carry over even if you use it as a glamour. So let's not use nothing. As for our next destination, mayhap we should decide together what else can be found nearby. The Skysteel manufactory stands to the west, where our engineers conceive and manufacture weapons to use against dragon. The holy stables where chocobos are trained for war are also in that direction. To the north and east you can be found the congregation of our knights most heavenly, while to the south and east, well, it would be best to avoid that area. Basically the slums, I guess. And why is that? I fear our knights might not be able to ensure your safety in the lowest levels, Master Alphino. Hold your nose when you pass the broom, little lord. A delicate flower like you is like to wilt in our fumes. You must judge me, sir, for I am no lord, but a humble traveler. Ah, come on. Come and see the sights, have you? Take a turn down the hopper and gob at the statues. Well, if you mind to learn how the better half lives, come and have a drink at the Forgotten Knight, if your nursemaid will let you. My humblest apologies, Master Alphino. Pray pay the drunken lout no mind. Oh, but I must. It would not do to refuse such heartfelt invitation. Yes, I simply must see this Forgotten Knight for myself. I trust you see the wisdom in this. There are few sources of information more abundant than a bustling local hostelry. Not that I expect to hear any news of our missing comrades just yet. Nonetheless, who can say what we might learn of recent events? I'm not certain, Alphino. That sounded like we're really getting into the bad part of town, and I'm not certain if you're the right person for that. When I'm coming too! Must say, it's rather unusual. Not just one, but a whole party of fresh new faces in my tavern. We but recently arrived in Ishgard and are eager to acquaint ourselves with more notable establishments, Master... Brilliant. Just brilliant, it'll do. And I'm flattered you think so highly of my establishment. Can't promise to live up to your expectations, but it's decent food and drink if you're after. You could do much worse. Judging by the number of customers I see, I suspect your fares were more than decent. Speaking of your clientele, I could not help but note the difference between those within the upper and the lower floors. Spotted that, did you? Aye, up here you find peddlers, porters, off-duty knights and so forth, dropping in on their way to or from somewhere else. Regulars maybe, but not locals. Folk from the broom, they tend to congregate downstairs, where we offer a menu more suited to their taste. Cheaper meals, stronger spirit, all quality mind, but not the sort of stuff I'd recommend to yourselves. You speak of the lowest levels, yes? Why do they call them the broom, if I may ask? Cause when the weather's foul and the broom rolls in thick, it's the poor sots living at the bottom who have to deal with it. I see. And it's not just the weather. When the wyvern broke through the walls and started tearing up the city, it was the broom that got the worst of it, while the pillars enjoyed the protection of the high houses and the temple knights. More than a few people are still sore about that, mind, which is why, considering your present company, I'd recommend you keep your wits about you if you mean to go below, and something sharp in your boot, just to be sure. I shall take your word to heart, sir. Master Elfinor, it would be best if we return to Fort Hom Manor. You go on ahead without me. I'm staying for a drink or two. Mr. Taru, I'm afraid that's out of the question. My Lord the Count would never forgive me if I abandoned one of his charges in such a place. Least of all a lady. What are you up to, Tataru? Look around, Elfinor. This tavern is full of people whose business regular takes them beyond the gates of judgment. With friends like that, I could practically live here and wait for the newest gossip to come to me. Indeed. But will you be safe here on your own? Oh please, do you know how often I looked after waking sands, the rising stones myself? If I had a deal for every unwelcome color I've driven away, I'd be rich beyond my wildest dream. I'll be fine. Not that I doubt the lady's knack for fending off unwanted advances, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let anyone unwelcome hand on a patron in my establishment. That settles it then, Tataru. Serenia and I shall return to Manor now. Contact me via link pearl if you need assistance. I will. Bye. And this is the unlock for the hunts for the new areas. I'm not certain if I've shown off how hunts work in A Realm Reborn. Simply, you get a list of monsters that need hunting in a certain level range. You go them, hunt down the mobs you need, and get rewarded for it. Simple as that. And you also get some tokens you can exchange for pretty decent equipment, actually. Cool. No, I like your attitude. Okay. Oh, not quite. First, I want to try these level 100 maps actually. Twin pools? No, this is a new area. Okay. But I will end this episode here. Next time we continue back at the mansion. Yeah. And speak with Lord Edmund and see what follows next. Until then, I'm Mace and don't get lost.